Hey, what's going on? This is Billy Newman, and I'm here with Marina Hansen. How you doing, Marina?
Hey, Bailey, I'm doing good.
Thanks for doing another Billy Newman photo podcast with me. I think it's episode 61 now.
Oh, wow.
Moving on up. We're doing them a little bit more frequently, but I guess it's been about one a week for the last couple. I want to try and do like a bunch of little quick ones, but it kind of comes and goes. Um, so today we're going to be running through a handful of the photos that have been going up. Had a couple cool ones come up during the last part of the week. We just passed over Halloween. Now we're in November. It's already moved into fall so quickly. It's really strange.
It has moved really quickly.
Yeah, yeah. Last week I did a photo shoot at work for a bunch of the fall color, the fall foliage, the kind of changing color of the leaves, those yellow tones and stuff,
Yeah.
and sort of this forested background. It's supposed to be with you saw some of the photos of like a truck and a trailer, sort
Yeah.
of for like a camping outdoor ad, and it was cool. I think I got a handful of good photos. We didn't really go out for a very long time or hit all the spots that maybe would be best, but I think we pulled out a handful of good photos that they can use for at least a few things for their brochures, whatever it is. And it was cool. There's a handful of them that came out really cool with a lot of color and a lot of leaves. And then I went back through there today, just a few days later, and a lot of those leaves have been just like wiped out already. And it's just,
Uh,
yeah, there's like really no leaves left. And a big section of what was there. At least not like it was just a week and a half ago.
it's interesting how quickly the leaves go.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
lost the leaves on all the trees
On
in
a
front of
trees
our
out here
apartment so
so
quickly.
quickly. Yeah,
It's been a while that
way quickly.
they've not had any leaves on them. You got some really nice photos though on that little work shoot.
Thank you.
I really
Yeah.
liked some of
I think there's
those.
a
I thought there were some
handful,
cool ones.
a good number of spots we pulled out a couple good photographs. So it was cool. I like a few of them. We were on this single lane paved road that kind of cuts through the mountains. I think it's sort of like a logging access road to a lot of places out there. But or at least that's what you sometimes see on it, but it's really not well traveled. And it's kind of strange that it's even there. It's a really small little spot, but it's near the area where we work. And we went back up in there where there's a lot of the deciduous trees that kind of run by this creek. And we kind of went up a little further, but it starts to turn into more of the evergreen trees further up the mountainside. So it's just more green, wintry
Yeah.
fall mountain instead of fall color. But we got a handful of cool colors of that where it's just this corridor, the trees kind of reaching up and over this little one lane road with a bunch of yellow and orange foliage and a bunch of leaves on the ground of the pavement as the truck and trailer driving through. It was cool to kind of put that stuff together. It was fun, but yeah, now just even a week later, even though it's nice outside or a little bit clear, a little bit more dry, it's more into November. More of the leaves have fallen, and it seems
You
like everything's almost shaken out.
yeah, you guys had good timing. I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, I'm glad we at least got it in when we did then. But yeah, it seemed like it was kind of slipping a little bit and a little bit, all the time. So yeah, it was cool. Glad we got those up. It was fun. So I think a couple of the photos that we had that went up. Oh, you have a couple I want to talk about too. But the first one I had was a photo of a wild sunflower that was growing as a volunteer on the side of the road in the Imnaha River Canyon when we were on our trip to the Wallowas and Hell's Canyon. And there's a really cool drive out there. This road that we were on, but there's a bunch of these little patches of these little volunteer sunflowers that were growing. So I took a picture of it. This one that was blowing around in the wind, and in the background of it's like the Imnaha Valley and the kind of canyon of grassland or grass that kind of rolls along with the hill there as it kind of flows down toward the Imnaha River at the bottom of the canyon. But it was a cute little picture. It looks kind of like a tattered, sort of windblown little sunflower. And he's a real scrawny little guy. He's like maybe a foot, 2 foot tall. And the flower is nothing like the stuff you might see in like a garden around here. It's just kind of a real small one, a real conservative bloom of a flower. But it was cool. It was a fun little flower on the side of the road. They look
Yeah.
really pretty. I think there's a bloom of them around that time of year. I remember seeing them in other parts of the state when we drive through.
That's what I was gonna say. I like those little flowers. I remember them from other trips around Eastern Oregon that we've done. I
Yeah,
think I
that's
remember
what I
them
was thinking.
around the Alvord
I was gonna say the
on that little
Alvards seem
drive
to
out
have
there.
them. That was around the same time of year, in the
Yeah.
summer, and yeah, it was cool. It was cool cool little guys to see. It was just a
They're
fun little
pretty.
photo. Yeah, I like
They're
those. Yeah,
cheerful looking. I like
they
them.
are cheerful, colorful flowers, especially for such an arid area out there in the desert.
No kidding.
It's fun to see. And the next photo, the other one that I put out yesterday, that was an old photo. It's really, I think, one of my first photos that was sort of like a finished photograph, like one that was kind of composed and put together. And I think one of the first ones that I thought really came out in sort of an interesting way. And I think I put this into the fair. I entered it as a little photograph in the county fair. I think I won a prize or some. I think I
Is that
got a
what one of
placement
those
for
little
it.
ribbons you have is from?
I think so. Yeah, I think one of them is from that photo. But I shot that
That's cool.
with that Olympus OM10, a manual focus film camera that I had in high school. And yeah, it was just some 35 millimeter film, but it was at the Back to the 50s event in Grants Pass, Oregon over the summer. And I think it was on a tripod. It was like a couple second exposure. I was on the side of the street where this old car was parked in front of me in a parking spot on the side of 6th Street, sort of the old town area of Grants Pass. And this was in 2006. So I think I was like a junior going on senior year in high school when I took this picture. And the cool thing about it is as I open the shutter, it was about a 2, 3, 4, maybe 10-second exposure. Well, it would collect a lot of the light because it was taken at night. Um, and so what happens though is that as the traffic passes, the uh, the lights, the headlights and taillights from all the cars sort of illuminate, light up, and streak through the frame of the camera, but you don't really see the dark part of the car. So that's sort of left unexposed. So when the camera or closes the shutter, and then I develop the film, the capture that I get, the scan that I get is a shot with the old time car kind of frozen, and then the blue night sky above it, and then the old town buildings of downtown Grants Pass with this really cool sort of fiery streak of headlights and taillights that kind of streak through from the bottom right hand corner, kind of diagonal out into the plane down into the field of the view. But it was cool. I like that photo. It was a fun one that I put together in high school. I really like that one.
Yeah, I like this one too. I think it's a cool one. I like those nighttime photography shots that you got or
Yeah,
that you have from like cool street shots like this and buildings. I think it's a neat kind of other sort of nighttime photography.
I liked this kind of photography a lot when I was younger. This is was kind of the thing that I'd focus on a lot because I thought it was sort of a surreal, different way that you would look at stuff. And
Yeah.
so I just thought there was more interesting things that you could get at night in an uninteresting area. And it was really true, like especially around Grants Pass, there really wasn't a lot of stuff to do on a gray winter day, but there were cool like smokestacks that you could go take photos at the mill, and all the lights around the mill would light up the smoke, so it would kind of blow up into the sky. So you could take a cool evening photograph of that, and you get like a cool sort of surreal effect of the light and the smoke or the steam coming up out of the stacks up into the sky when it was dark out. So you could get like kind of cool different effects from different places or different long exposure things. And that seemed to be like a fun way to go to get interesting, good photos in sort of an easy way almost.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
really cool because you get to have a whole new set of photos from a place
yeah.
that maybe you already have photos.
Yeah. And the thing that's really good about long exposures when you're starting out in photography is that it really slows everything down. It's not a fast-paced environment where you have to frame and then reframe and recompose a shot maybe 8 times a second like you would have to in a sports photography situation.
Mhm.
That's a hard competitive way to learn and work through making artistic manual exposures of stuff, like
Yeah, I
of
bet.
photos. That's kind of like a spray and paint, and it's sort of almost a panic when you have to like press down and get a lot of good photo or get a lot of photos that are stable all through once. What I liked about long exposures and landscapes and setting up the tripod is that you take a long time to okay, I'm gonna adjust the aperture and I'm gonna drop this down, and if I screw it up or if it's like too fast of an exposure and I just have it on auto or have it on some old incorrect setting, it's not going
Mhm.
to do anything. It's just going to come out black. So you got to pay more attention. You got to make sure that it's going to be open for a really long time so it lets in a bunch of light. And that's still when you don't really know what it's going to be. So you try it 2 or 3 times. So you kind of like work with it a little bit more, and you take more
Yeah.
time to kind of slowly learn the camera. And it's a pretty patient time. There's not a lot of people out at night to bother you, interrupt what you're doing. So it was kind of a cool way to hang out and like trying to learn how to use the manual features on a camera to do different light effects when you're taking different types of exposures with the camera.
Yeah, it seems like a really useful way to learn more about photography or just how your camera and its settings work.
It was cool. Yeah, I did a pretty good job with it then, and I tried throughout like the next year or two to get a little better. But yeah, I thought that was a cool one. It was a fun picture. It was like one of my favorites for a while. It was really. And I think like one of the next photos I got was maybe maybe 9 months later. I think it was March of 2007. No, wait. Oh, maybe it was 2 years later. Oh, I think I did a couple of things, but yeah, I think it was like 2008 when I went to San Francisco.
Oh, yeah, I got that
Yeah,
city
and I
shot.
think we did that. Yeah, the shot of the bridge. So yeah, that was a little later. Huh? Yeah, I guess that's right. It sounds wrong, but yeah, I guess it's the right one. But yeah, it was cool. Like that bridge shot was another early photo I thought of. But yeah, I think yeah, it was like one of those. So it was
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, the early photos. It's kind of fun to see them, and I really thought they were like great when I took them. And now I kind of see like, yeah, there's some whole or there's like some different things that happen now. But it's interesting like seeing that. That was something that happened like 10 years ago.
Yeah, so long ago.
Yeah, really nuts. But it's pretty cool.
It
It's cool
is
still having those
cool.
photos around.
I really like that. I like this one a lot, and I also really like that San Francisco Bridge one. I remember that was really one of the first photos of yours that I saw, actually. You had
Oh
that
yeah,
big
I had a
poster
big
print of
poster
it up,
printed up. Yeah, I printed it out
and it was up
early.
in your room in college. And I remember thinking that it was just like a poster you bought when you were in San
That's
Francisco
cool.
because it looked really good.
Ooh, thanks for making my own posters. That's cool.
It was cool.
Oh, so I wanted to ask you. You posted a photo today. It was a cool one of me
I did.
up in Hell's Canyon in that Imnaha area where we camped that second night. I thought it was really cool. Thanks for posting that one.
Yeah, I like that photo a lot. It's one of my favorites from that trip, I think.
Yeah, it was near sunrise on that second day.
Yeah, it was sunrise at our camp up
Yeah.
up on that little mountain spot. I
Ooh.
guess I was trying to figure out what that spot was called because it was just down from that Hat Point lookout.
Yeah, it was
It
down from
was
Hat Point. I think it was just the road, like Hat Point Road or
yeah,
something like that, and it was
yeah,
facing the Imnaha River Canyon. It was cool.
it
Yeah,
was cool. Yeah, it was a nice spot and the light was really pretty that morning.
I thought it was really pretty.
And yeah, the photo is it's like a portrait of or it's like portrait oriented.
Yeah, portrait
Um
oriented on that
and
field.
yeah, out in this cool grassy or tall grass field that's
Yeah,
like a light beige color. And
yeah, I
then there's
liked
some
that.
tall trees in the background and then blue sky above. And then in the middle, Billy is standing in his bright orange jacket with his camera out taking a picture.
Yeah, it was really cool. That was shot with the wide angle, right? That
It was,
yeah,
yeah, that was with the 14 millimeter on my D7000 that I have.
yeah. I thought that looked really good. I thought it was a really fun, nice, sharp, bright photo. It was cool.
Yeah, I really like that one. I
Thanks
think that's cute.
for taking some fun travel photos with me.
Yeah, that was a really cool trip. I liked
Yeah,
getting to
I liked that
be
one a
a
bunch.
different place.
It was pretty
It
cool.
was, and just such an impressive and pretty place. It was
Oh
really cool
yeah,
out
it
there.
was really impressive. I had a great time out there. We got to go back sometime.
I think so. I definitely want
Yeah, we
to.
should go back in the spring and summer sometime. That'd be fun. I want to get back out into that area a little bit more now that we've been out
Yeah.
there and a few of those other places beyond it. I think I want to see it again. It'd be
Yeah,
cool.
I would really like to.
Yeah, I think it'd be a hoot. Well, thanks a lot, Marina, for hanging out with me for another episode of the Billy Newman Photo Podcast. You can check out more of my stuff at billynewmanphoto.com or at instagram.com/Billy Newman at Billy Newman if you want to. And yeah, check out the outbound.com/Billy dash Newman. It's a new thing I'm going to be trying to do to put up some photos and some little stories about the outdoor adventure stuff that we've done in the future and that's and stuff that we've done in the past. It'll be kind of cool. But yeah, thanks a lot for listening to this episode of the podcast, and I will check in again sometime soon.